Look at this big ass bird, but this big ass bird has a cool interaction. This interaction comes to you from Evan, who emailed me this whole thing, which, by the way, you guys are also free to DM me. Don't be scared to DM me and ask me questions. I'll try to answer them if I can. This interaction also involves necromancy, but don't be scared of this wall of text. I'm gonna break down the relevant parts. First, it becomes an aura that can enchant a creature brought back with necromancy, and then you can bring a creature back from a graveyard onto the battlefield with necromancy attached to it. And when necromancy leaves the battlefield, you sacrifice the creature attached to it. Basically, it brings the creature back to the battlefield, it becomes an aura and attaches to it, and if that aura leaves, then that creature gets sacrificed. Now that creature will go to attacks, and this is where it gets interesting. Because Arna will create a copy of all non-token things attached to that creature, and then those copies will be attached to that attacking creature. But a few interesting things happen here with necromancy. Now, although the original necromancy is currently an aura, that happened because it applied an effect to itself to change its type and give itself its ability. But before it applied that effect, it was just a regular enchantment. So when we're looking at making a copy of something, we look at its copyable values, which is on layer 1, which would be all the values of that card before we applied any type changing effect, and way before we apply any ability adding effects. So before it even became an aura, it was an enchantment, and that's what it's going to enter as. It's not going to enter as an aura. Now the thing with that is that anytime a permanent tries to enter attached to something and it's not an aura, equipment, or a fortification, it enters unattached. So what's going to happen is that Arna is going to make a token copy of necromancy that's just a regular enchantment, but it's not going to attach. But after we finish resolving all of this, now necromancy is going to trigger, and that's just going to resolve like normal. So basically, Arna gives you a repeatable way to reanimate something every turn because of the weird way that necromancy operates. Now some people might think that you could do the same thing with Animate Dead, but this is very different because Animate Dead originally can only enchant a card in a graveyard. When you make a copy with Animate Dead and then try to attach that copy to a creature that's not in the graveyard, well, that's not going to happen. If an effect attempts to put an aura onto the battlefield attached to something it can't legally attached to, then that thing just remains in the zone it's in, or if it's on the stack, it's put into the graveyard, or if it's a token, it isn't created. It's only because necromancy is an enchantment and then turns itself into an aura why this interaction would work. How niche is that?